Hey there, and welcome into Main Street Living. I'm Danielle Alvari.
Hey guys, I got my hair out today. I'm Quincy Carr.
It looks good, Q. And I'm Cheryl Nelson. Always great to see you guys. And it's August, but I can't believe it's back to school season. And man, when you guys were kids, were you happy to go back to school or did you dread it?
Well, I can say for me, because my birthday would always come up the week right before school. And
Mm.
so, I would be like, y'all not gonna celebrate my birthday. It's like, we didn't see you. Like, okay, all right, cool. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
See, my birthday's in February, and I always wanted a summer birthday so I could have a pool party. So I,
Ah,
I was jealous of the summer birthdays.
yeah, same. And mine is 2 days after Christmas, December 27th.
Oh yeah,
So mine
Cheryl really
always
got.
got absorbed. I never got a pool party. So Q, I don't want to hear it. You have a great birthday and happy
Yeah,
birthday,
you should have
by the
thrown a
way.
blowout. I mean, Cheryl, what was going back to school like for you?
So I always loved going back to see my friends and to see my crushes because a lot
Oh,
of times you don't see your crushes. That was the most exciting part of school was getting to see them. But then I
and
hated
not
getting up
talk,
early. Yeah, but
just
look, here's
see.
here's a picture of me when it was probably the first day of third grade, and I had my backpack, and
Look at
I was
you.
like, okay, yeah,
Dark-haired Cheryl. I think people don't realize that that,
no.
that was a thing.
Yeah, that was, and yeah, so this, a little bit of highlights in here, just a little. And Danielle, what about you? What was back to
Well,
school like for
I
you?
Well, it's funny because I remember going to kindergarten my first day, and every picture of me, I'm miserable. I don't even think we have them anymore. But I grew to love school, and it was fun for me too because my mom would make my back to school outfit for the first day of school. So she would sew me like a dress or whatever. So you guys can kind of
Oh
see,
my
I
God, I love that.
there's like little school buses on it, and I just I would tell you guys I didn't appreciate it at the time. I just thought everybody has a mom who can sew.
And
Wow.
no one, and you didn't want to hear anything that anybody was saying in that picture. I can see
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. But I want to hear about the great show we have coming up, obviously. So we get to visit the newly opened Cox Innovation Lab inside the Comic Con Museum,
that.
and
Ooh.
we get to visit the Salute to Teachers event that I'll get to be at next week.
Ooh,
Fun.
and guess what? Tax tips, we got those on the way that can keep you from being penalized.
Yeah, and sports fans, this show is for you because it is game time. We're going to talk high school football and the connection between high school baseball's The Perfect Game and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So stay right here with us on Main Street Living. Welcome back to Main Street Living. Quincy, Danielle, it still feels like summer, but the new school year is ramping up, and that means high school football.
Yes, and at YurView, that means Game Time is back, our show focused on the Friday night lights and all that goes along with them. So here to talk to us today about all things football, we have sports analyst and play-by-play Jeff Palermo. Jeff, thanks so much for making time for us on Main Street Living.
Well, it's great to be a part of the show. Thanks for asking me.
So, Game Time, some great matchups and rivalries, but are these national games or will viewers get to see local high school games? How does it work?
Well, the viewers should be watching or will be able to see local matchups involving teams in their area. Here in South Louisiana, we'll have some of the best teams, the best players, some great games that we have lined up on our schedule this season. And it's just a great way for people to stay connected with their local community, especially if they can't get out to the high school games and so forth. I mean, there's nothing better really than high school football on a Friday night in the fall. I mean, it's about as Americana as it gets. And it's great that YurView is a part of it because it means so much, especially to these communities. Just getting together. It's obviously we're all going through a lot of tough times out there right now, but there's nothing more pure than high school football on a Friday night, and it's a great way for the community to get around, get out to something and get around to it. And if you can't be a part of it physically, watching it on TV, that's the second best thing.
Yeah, well, the second best thing, of course, watching it on TV, and the best thing on top of that is hearing you as the play-by-play announcer because you cover all the games there in Louisiana. There now, how popular is high school football there in the state?
Well, what I like to always tell people is high school football in Louisiana is just as popular as it is in Texas. You always hear about high school football in Texas. And I would say the one big difference is that Louisiana doesn't have high school football stadiums that resemble college stadiums like they do in Texas. I mean, there's some huge stadiums in Texas, but it's just as passionate here in Louisiana. And the players are just as good as what you see in Texas. I mean, even when you're watching NFL games, the amount of guys that come out of the state of Louisiana to eventually play in the NFL, it's astonishing. It's always top three per capita every year. And you get to see them before they become stars when you get to watch the games on Gametime.
So we know that the talent is elite. When are the games starting, and what are you looking forward to this season?
Well, they start on Friday, September 2nd, and I'm really looking forward to our first matchup of the season. There's been a lot of talk about this certain quarterback from New Orleans by the name of Arch Manning. And, of course, he is the nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning. He's the son of Cooper Manning, who was the wide receiver that ended up going to Ole Miss and then suffering a career-ending injury, who now does stuff for Fox. And, of course, he's the grandson of Archie Manning. And there's been a lot of talk about him. He committed over the summer to the University of Texas, and we'll get to see him in the season opener against Hahnville. And it's going to be a very tough matchup for Newman. Newman is a smaller school in New Orleans, while Hahnville is one of the bigger schools in the state of Louisiana. So it'll be a terrific matchup. And again, that starts on Friday, September 2nd. And I can't think of a better way to kick off our schedule by focusing in on one of the top players in the country. And then again, give people a chance to see just how good high school football is in South Louisiana.
Yeah, but Jeff, these players seem so young. Like, how can you tell about what can you tell about an up and coming player by watching them play in high school?
Well, you get to see, I think, the athleticism. I mean, certain players just really jump off the page. I can remember watching Leonard Fournette, who, of course, is now on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we did his games a few years back when he was playing high school football at St. Augustine in New Orleans. And those guys just jump off the page. When you watch Arch Manning throw the football, it's something special. It just comes out of his hand much differently than, say, your average high school quarterback. And we'll get to see a lot of good quarterbacks during our games this season. Ricky Collins from Woodlawn High School. We got Woodlawn featured in one of our matchups later on in the season. He just committed to LSU. And then when you're not talking about a quarterback, whether it's a wide receiver or a guy that plays on defense, the speed, the strength, there's just something different. You can notice it pretty easily if you're watching closely enough. You know, the difference between, that Division I stud player compared to a guy that's, just playing high school football for fun on a Friday night.
Yeah. And I remember on Gametime, even just like DJ Uwinglele, who went to Clemson. I think that we've seen a lot of great players come through, specifically on Gametime, of course. But I remember even watching Najee Harris in high school because he was playing in the Bay Area where I was from. Now we got to see him go to college, Alabama, all the way up to the Steelers. And you can just see each of those progressions. And it's really fun to start at the beginning here in high school for them. Where can viewers find more about Gametime, the full game schedules, the whole shebang?
Well, our schedule, there's a variety of ways to do it, but the full game schedules are going to be located at YurView.com. And then once you eventually see the schedule and tune in on Friday nights, but just realize we're going to be with you every Friday night, all the way from early September, all the way, heck, I think early December is probably our final game once we get into the semifinals. And you can always watch our games on your local YurView channel. You also have the Cox Contour TV app. And then also, if you're not able to watch the game on Friday, say you're at another game on a Friday night, you're watching your son or you're watching your daughter cheer, live streams and replays of all the games are available at watch.yourview.com.
Watch.yourview.com. Now, Jeff, I have to ask you this really quick. Now, you're a play-by-play announcer. We've never done this. I'm getting ready to throw a pass to Danielle, and she's going to score a touchdown. Call this play.
Oh, here's the pass out to Danielle, and what a grab. She makes it on her fingertips, dodges a defender, and she's in the end zone for a touchdown.
Nice.
See, this man gets paid for it. Come on.
Nice.
It's in my blood.
Thank you so much for stopping by, Jeff, man. We definitely look forward to hearing your voice there on YurView.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Awesome. Good catch, Danielle. And up next, we're going to continue with how to watch the perfect game. Is there such a thing? Well, stick around and you'll see for yourself. Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Cheryl, all of us enjoy sports, right? And sports are a great way to bring people together. And of course, it's something we can all get behind, right? But when you combine a great sporting event with an incredible charity like Make-A-Wish, I mean, things just become better, right?
It really does. And the Perfect Game All-Star American Classic offers a glimpse of some of the most talented young players from around the world. And one of them is here with us right now to talk about this very special game. Please welcome Roch Cholowsky to Main Street Living. So nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And Roch, this is a really big deal for you. Can you give us a quick overview of what the Perfect Game is and how you got involved?
I mean, it was kind of just growing up watching the game and seeing people that I kind of looked up to playing in it, and just kind of setting a goal for myself to make the game when it was my time. So kind of putting the work in and trying to get there eventually was the goal. And obviously having people that went to my high school like Gavin Turley and Roch Cholowsky playing the game was big for me. And I really started to get involved last summer when I started traveling, playing in mostly perfect game tournaments to just try and get noticed for the end goal, which is to be in the All-American game.
So for those of us who didn't get to grow up and go to this, what is the perfect game? What goes on?
I mean, so it's a big weekend where they take the top 40 guys, or 40, I'm not sure how many exactly it is this year, but I mean, we'll have a home run derby, I mean, banquet dinners, everyone will get to hang out, and then obviously the big game on Sunday.
And what do you hope happens for you by participating in the Perfect Game? I see you're wearing Danielle's alma mater there, UCLA.
Yeah, obviously just to get noticed and kind of get my name out there was kind of what I went out and tried to do. And I mean, it's working out for me now, and I hope to keep doing it so that I can just get as much recognition as possible and hopefully make it to the big leagues one day. And Perfect Games helped a lot with that.
Yeah, well, I know I'm a big fan of UCLA's baseball program, so I hope that works out for you. And obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of high school kids in this game who are hoping that this works out for them, at least to go on to play in college or beyond. What are your goals for playing during the Perfect Game?
Just to show it as best as I can. I mean, there's a lot of talented guys there, and I'm obviously going to see some of the best arms that I've ever seen before, and hopefully just try and go out there and do my thing and prove that I can play.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what position do you play?
I play shortstop.
Oh, that is a
Just
key
the toughest
position. Yeah. I played softball for many years, and I never wanted to put myself at shortstop.
I love it.
Yeah, no thank you. So you're pretty amazing there, and I love what you're doing, especially because you're involved with a charity as well. How did you personally get involved with Make-A-Wish?
This was Perfect Game helped me a lot out with that. Actually, yesterday was my first time going to hang out with my Wish kid. Campbell, we actually went to Walmart, and a part of his wish was to kind of give back to the community. And we took 15, 20 kids on shopping sprees yesterday at Walmart, and I just kind of went and helped out with him and his family doing that. So he had his wish done a while ago. He went to Wrigley Field and met Kyle Schwarber, and I'm actually wearing his band that he gave me yesterday on my wrist still, and I don't plan on taking it off. But
Best buds.
Yeah, I had a great time yesterday, and I'm definitely going to get more involved with stuff like that.
That's so exciting. Why do you think it's important for players like you to give back to organizations like Make-A-Wish?
I mean, there's a lot of kids out there that wish they could play the game, and they just can't because of what they were born with or what hit them throughout their life. So, I mean, kind of giving back is a big part of my life now. Just kind of seeing those kids smile yesterday and have a good time hanging out with us was big for me.
And it's great too that you are experiencing this and you're in high school and you're already giving back to charities. As you get older, are you helping to do more with Make-A-Wish or other organizations?
Yeah, definitely. I actually talked to my dad about that yesterday when I got home from working with the Campbell crew when I get older. And if I make it there and I've got a lot of money, I'm definitely going to start giving back and pick a charity that I can help out a lot.
Yeah, and we'll make sure that Coach Savage knows about that.
Yes.
How can we watch this game? Where can we go to watch the perfect game?
It's at Chase Field on the 28th. The tickets are free. And then if you're not in Arizona, then you can watch on Perfect Game TV.
Oh, wow. So you can watch it even if you're not in Arizona. So free tickets. It's on Sunday, August 28th, 5 p.m. Chase Field. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us all about this. And I hope you keep on working with Make-A-Wish.
Thank you.
Yeah, we wish you all the best. And shortstop, woo, get those line drives.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, since we're talking about Make-A-Wish, let's take a look next segment at just the impact that a wish can really make.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Quincy. In our last segment, we got to hear from a young man who'll be playing in the Perfect Game All-American Classic, which, in addition to being an exciting baseball game, will also benefit the Make-A-Wish organization.
Yeah, Cheryl. There are a lot of ways to support the mission of this life-changing group, and one of them is through planned giving, which is leaving a gift through your will or trust.
That's right. Here's a look at one Arizona family who became involved with the Make-A-Wish organization and decided to make it part of their family legacy.
My oldest daughter, Cassie, had a lifelong friend named Katie Wagner, and they were best friends since they were 4 years old. Katie lived at our house, basically. We would take her on vacations, and one day they were sophomores in high school, and we got a text from her dad that asked us to come down to the hospital. And there we found out that Katie had just been diagnosed with stage 4 rhabdomyosarcoma.
It's something at 15 that you can't wrap your mind around. Cancer is like a grandparent disease. So that's something, anything was wrong with my friend, but especially something like so serious.
How they held up during this process was incredible. They're certainly a family that has a strong faith, but what was really inspiring was how Katie held up and really helped keep everyone else up through this process. Her example was unbelievable. She actually started going and working with other kids with cancer to try and help motivate them and help get them through their treatments. And often as a friend, you ask, what can I do to help, when there's really, other than being there, nothing to do. So the next morning, I found a number for someone at Make-A-Wish and just told them who I was and asked how I could help. But her wish was to go to the Caribbean.
She wanted to make sure it was something that her family could enjoy. Because she knew it was also been a really hard time on her family. And so I think that was a big motivator for her wish, was something that they could all enjoy, and they wanted a family cruise together. And I know that they treasure those memories, and it was something that they still hold so special, because she passed away not too long after, so it was such a special gift that they were able to go spend that time together.
The reason I decided to get involved with Make-A-Wish and start helping, especially with planned giving, was because it was an opportunity of a charity, which through Katie and through other Wish Kids we've been involved with, has become incredibly tender to myself, my wife, and our entire family. We both truly believe that planned giving is an incredible example for our children to be able to see what's really important in life. And with planned giving, it's never too young, too early, or too late to do a planned gift. The best time is now to create one, update your will, update your trust, to make sure you leave a legacy to the community and to your family.
Wow, ladies, I just amazed. Like, I'm touched by the story. I couldn't imagine the level of strength it took for Katie Wagner and her family to endure that fight.
She was such a beautiful woman, and her best friend, you could see the love there. And oh my goodness, God bless them.
Yeah. And also thinking of her family and how hard it was for them to go through this as well. So just a really selfless person, obviously. You can get more information about making a planned gift to Make-A-Wish at arizona.wish.org. Definitely check that out. And stay with us, because coming up next, we are saluting our teachers. Welcome back into Main Street Living. Now, we learned a lot during the pandemic, and we learned to appreciate many things during the pandemic. And hopefully close to the top of that list is our teachers.
Mhm.
Yeah, Danielle, that's right. I mean, I still have my favorite teacher I would never forget. And while some of us are just now realizing what superheroes our teachers are, the folks in San Diego, well, they've been celebrating their teachers as heroes for 32 years with their Salute to Teachers program. Now, San Diego County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Paul Gothold, is here to tell us more. Welcome to Main Street Living, Dr. Paul.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, we're so happy that you are here. You got to tell us about Cox Presents Salute to Teachers.
Oh, it's extraordinary, especially having had the honor and privilege of working in other counties. No one does it like San Diego, and no one does it like Cox. It really, truly is a remarkable setting each year, honoring and recognizing all of our plus 24,000 teachers across the region. We've been doing this for 50 years, and with Cox, the last 32 years. But it's a time to really just hit the pause button and honor some extraordinary individuals for all the dedication and work in doing what is the most important work, and that's taking care of our children. So thank you for all your support and what you do to support this event.
Teachers are so giving, so selfless. Why would you say it's especially important to honor teachers?
You know, teaching is a tough job. I spent time in the classroom myself, beginning 30 years ago. You know, for many of our teachers, this is a passion. This is something that fuels the soul, and we're in the business of people for people. And what could be more important than preparing our youth for the next stage of their life, for college, for career, really being active citizens, social mobility. There's so much that goes into it, way beyond the academics, that really leads to the human condition and mentoring and coaching. It really is a special profession. It is a demanding profession, and one that we have to step back and just say a huge thank you. Our teachers do an unbelievable job in supporting our young people. And so, again, can't say enough about Cox and the business community rallying to really take time to elevate and support our teaching staff.
Yeah, no doubt. And I know that, with teachers, they are, like, they take it on the chin a lot, and, like, how are the county teachers of the year selected? Because I know there's got to be a really strenuous process.
Yeah, it is a process, and we've been doing it now for 50 years. So it's part of a national program. I mean, every single district, and we have 42 districts here in San Diego County, has their own teacher of the year. For those folks who are winners in their respective districts, they come to us on application. Part of the application is recommendation letters, testimony from students, their philosophy around teaching. And then committees are set up with educators to really go through, look at the candidates, and then fiber push through. In our county, those that are selected winners actually get to participate in the state teacher of the year. And then it goes on to, for those who are fortunate to be at the top there, get to participate in the National Teacher of the Year.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine what that feels like to be selected. What is your favorite thing about Salute? Any favorite Salute memories over the years? I know there's got to be something.
Well, I think the way that they've done it here in San Diego is really special. It always had this feel of Academy Awards. Teachers didn't know that they were selected until announced publicly. But also, I think what always resonates with me and sticks with me is, when you hear about the students talking about their teachers, and the love and the respect and how much they value that individual. That doesn't happen by mistake. That means teachers are doing something pretty extraordinary for kids to really start to talk about them in that context. And as a former educator myself, I'm still in touch with my former students to a very large degree, and just what an honor and privilege to be a part of their journey from high school kids to now adulthood and kids of their own. So.
Oh my goodness, are you getting emotional? I can feel it.
I am. I had the honor and privilege of working with our expelled and probation youth. That's where I cut my teeth teaching. So a lot of kids who were pushed out and excluded from the system, we had an opportunity to rebuild and to do some very extraordinary things. And so for teaching for me was life-changing. For myself, I probably learned more from my students than they did from me, but just watching them transform their lives with everything that they were coming with and the challenges that they had and what was put in front of them to transform their lives and to see, the trauma and anger go from inspiration and hope to, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And so many of them not just finish high school, but finish college and doing extraordinary things right now. That's what we get to do as educators.
You're giving us goosebumps. Oh.
Yeah, and you just shared a little bit of an insight of what it means to be a teacher and stuff. Can you give me one of your greatest moments as a teacher that you'll never forget?
I never saw myself as an effective teacher, but I think when I've had some of my kids look me up 5, 10, 15 years later and say, hey, G, I had to track you down, man. You changed my life. This is what I'm doing. And I'm quick to say, no, I didn't change your life. You did the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I just showed you there was a different way. But I've never been more proud of what I'm seeing out of you and from you, and just play it forward.
My goodness. Yeah.
I can hear it in his voice.
I know. Teachers are so impactful. And so, yes, you did play a role in that. And all the teachers definitely play a role in the lives of youngsters. And before we go, how can our viewers get more information about this amazing event and also the television show to honor San Diego's teachers?
Yeah, I believe it's salutetoteachersSD.com. Please log in, get information about the event. Again, it'll be broadcasted through Cox and ITV. It'll run as multiple times, but really take the time, if you can, also to say thank you to our teachers. It's been a pretty tough last 3 years with all of the challenges we've seen in the pandemic and everything else, and they still do an extraordinary job and put kids first, and that's what makes me so proud to be superintendent and work side by side with them.
Well, we thank you.
Yes. Thank you for sure. Wow. What an amazing story. Thank you so much for joining us here on Main Street Living. All right. Whew. Well, Quincy, teachers are certainly a breed of superhero. And coming up next, we're going to visit the other superheroes. So don't go away.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. Quincy, Cheryl, be honest, when you hear the word museum, you probably think about a place that's educational and interesting, but maybe a little stuffy, maybe not necessarily the coolest place to hang out, right?
Oh, no. Yeah, maybe you're right. But would it change your mind if I told you it was the Comic-Con Museum? That takes the pop culture magic of Comic-Con and makes it accessible all year long.
That's right. All year long, and Cox Communications is helping fuel the imagination and creativity of some young museum visitors in the newly opened Cox Innovation Lab. Check this out.
So the Comic-Con Museum is a place where we extend the magic of Comic-Con to be available and accessible year-round for everyone. Right now, we have our main exhibit is Amazing Spider-Man, the exhibition. and it is fully immersive in terms of sound, interactivity. You really feel like you are in a comic book when you're in that exhibit. Anything that you see at Comic-Con, we want to have a process for teaching here at the museum. So the Cox Innovation Lab is made possible by a huge, generous donation from Cox Communications. And essentially the goal there is to undertake maker projects that need technology as part of the component of the project.
Okay, high five. So when we heard that Comic-Con was going to open up a museum in Balboa Park, we were just really excited. We know that fans that come to Comic-Con want to learn more about its history, and also, fans year-round want to come and visit San Diego, and a part of that being able to learn. So we had the opportunity to sponsor their Innovation Lab at $175,000, and this really fits in with our theme of innovation and education. So the opportunity to support this lab, to teach STEM and STEAM to all of the students around San Diego County was a phenomenal opportunity in our eyes.
So we are having the STEAM Fair to encourage and give hands-on accessibility to kids about what we're doing with STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. I am hosting a table where we are working on building bridges. As a rocket scientist and an astronaut in training, one thing that's super important to me is strong structures.
I was building bridges and I was putting heavy weights on the bridge and it didn't fall.
You can add in different shapes and see how that works when we're adding the weight to see if it makes it stronger, or do the directions of the popsicle sticks matter. It allows me to teach a lot of the students about strong structures, talk about aerospace and how that relates and how we actually use this same idea in space. So in a way, you're building space products on Earth.
It's important because you build your brain and it helps to be more creative. And when you're more creative, then once you're older, you can probably build more creative and innovative things.
We like to invest in innovation and education, and to have all of these kids come here and learn about innovative ways to do STEAM activities is pretty fantastic.
Well, ladies, you know what? This is the future of our youth. And of course, kudos to Cox once again for sponsoring, and this time, the Innovation Lab.
Yeah, I always am impressed when they use everyday items. Like we've seen potato clocks. Did I see oranges in there? Are they making electricity with oranges? It's incredible.
They've got some very cool stuff in there. You can find out more about this neat museum at comiccon.org/museum.
All right. Well, up next, a tax preparer's job is never done, so stay close by because we can use all the tax tips or two.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Quincy, it's August. So for most of us, this doesn't feel like the time to think about our taxes. But so like with so many things, if we do a little planning ahead for tax season, it'll be much easier when April rolls around, right?
Yes, I need this for sure. So our resident tax expert is here with some advice about a tax topic that may have slipped below your radar. Let's welcome in tax attorney Adam Brewer. Adam, thank you as always for making the time for us here on Main Street Living.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to be back.
So I can't believe it, but we are talking about taxes, and everyone at this point is aware of the responsibility to file and pay your income taxes. But are there special requirements for taxpayers who have financial accounts in other countries?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm here to ruin the last bit of summer for some people, but what we want to talk about today is foreign financial accounts. So any U.S. taxpayers owning a foreign financial account, think bank account or retirement account overseas, they do have requirements to disclose the existence of that account to the IRS.
Wow. So even if a foreign bank account doesn't earn any interest income, there could still be a tax problem?
Yeah, exactly. So if your bank account's like mine, I get, zero interest on it. But in this case, it kind of deviates from the historical model of a tax return. So historically, it's just about, reporting income. And now the IRS is saying, even if there's no income to report, if you meet certain requirements, we want to know that that account exists.
Of course they do. So if a taxpayer isn't sure what was filed, what should they look for in their return?
Okay, so on these, we really look for like 3 touch points with the tax return. So Schedule B, that's where, you report your interest income and dividend income, most commonly from a bank. So if you have foreign interest income or foreign dividend income, still going to go on Schedule B. Form 8938, that's where you're going to disclose any foreign financial accounts if the maximum balance is over $50,000 if you file as a single taxpayer, or $100,000 if you file jointly. And then finally, there's a form called an FBAR, FinCEN 114. If the maximum balance of your foreign accounts is over $10,000 at any point during the year, then you're going to report that on an FBAR form.
Oh boy. So here's where we get down to what the truth of everything is. The one thing that we know about our taxes is you will pay, or you will pay behind bars. So what are the consequences of not reporting foreign financial accounts?
Yeah, exactly. So here's where some people's stomachs are probably going to sink a bit.
Oh, no.
So if it's just reporting interest and dividend income, that's where you're looking at, paying the tax plus some penalties and interest. For Form 8938, it's a maximum penalty up to $10,000 per year. And for the FBAR, also $10,000 per year, but there are circumstances where it can be 50% of the account balance. So yeah, quite a big hit on those penalties.
50%. So if someone is just learning about this now and freaking out and hasn't filed, what can they do?
Yeah, exactly. So there's millions of taxpayers in this situation. I deal with them all the time. So IRS knows, everyone, there's a lot of people getting caught up in this, they didn't do it intentionally. So what they've created are disclosure programs. So you essentially come clean to the IRS and say, hey, I haven't filed these returns. You enter a disclosure program, and the benefit is you pay less penalties. So for most disclosure programs, you're going to pay the tax, interest, and a little bit of penalty. And then on the account balance side, you're going to pay 5% of the maximum account balance. So a lot better than 50%, but still a hit.
It's kind of like a child to a parent, right? Because, if your parents say, if you just tell me the truth without me asking,
Be in less trouble.
You'll be in trouble, but you'll be in less trouble.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. It's the IRS saying, just tell me what you did. If we have to find out for ourselves, 50% penalty. If you just come clean now and make my job a little easier, I'll take it easy on you.
Oh my gosh. So is there anything else taxpayers should know?
Yeah, so this is really kind of a lousy one. So even if you don't own the account, let's say you just have signatory authority on the account. So that would come up like, let's say a taxpayer has a parent that lives overseas and they say, hey, in case anything ever happens to me, I want you to be able to access my bank account. That happens from time to time. Even if you just have signatory authority on the account, you have to disclose that. So, I'd say in some, these are really complex rules. A lot of people probably just finding out for it for the first time. So if you think this may apply to you, reach out to a tax attorney, and take it from there.
We're really grateful. Go ahead, Q.
Well, I was going to ask, is there a penalty if I just keep it in my mattress?
Well, if
you have to report that.
Well, if it's in your mattress, assuming that mattress is in the U.S., then in this case, it won't apply to you.
Okay, cool, perfect.
We are certainly grateful to have our tax attorney here on Main Street Living. How can viewers get in touch with you for more tax advice?
Yeah, so they can always find out more information about me from my website, triumphovertax.com, or can reach me by phone, 619-591-9500.
Every season can be tax season. Let's do it.
There you go. I'm about to load up my mattress. All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, my man.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Well, Danielle, straight ahead, we got more of Main Street Living. And if I don't come back, I'm checking my mattress.
Okay. Welcome back into Main Street Living. But Quincy, if anyone missed this show or any others, where can they go to look at them?
Of course, Danielle, our Cox Contour app. See much more. Games
and new episodes of Main Street Living Mondays at 9 p.m. local time. So join us then as we take another stroll down Main Street.